Thank you so much to the Chamber, the St. Tammany Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber PAC for all the work that you do. My name is Josh Allison. I'm running for State Representative District 89. As my friend Peter Egan pointed out, I am from Chalmette. I don't have a speech impediment anymore, but I am from Chalmette. And I moved up here about 20 years ago. I met a beautiful, as many people from St. Bernard did, I met a beautiful girl from Madisonville, married her, and we have 3 children together. District 89 is an amazing district. It encompasses Mandeville, Madisonville, and Covington. I believe the people of District 89 deserve representation that will fight for them in the legislature. I believe the people of District 89 deserve representation that understand how what we do in the legislature, what we do as lawmakers, really affects business, people, and industry. And I believe the people of District 89 deserve to have someone in the legislature that will be accountable to them and listen to their voice. I do those things every day. I'm an attorney in private practice. I have clients like Gulf Crane Services and ServPro and the Sheriff's Department, but I represent regular people throughout my district and throughout this parish. I fight for them. I know the law, and I know how the law affects business, people, and industry. It is an important part of what I do every day, and it makes me uniquely qualified to represent this district in Baton Rouge. I believe the priorities that we need to focus on in Baton Rouge are infrastructure, education, economic growth. I believe we need to protect our state's natural beauty, and most importantly, safety. Safety is such an important issue. It has been overlooked, and the one thing that I would change in the legislature is I would prioritize safety. Everyone on the North Shore is living proof that people will leave New Orleans, Metairie. They will leave an unsafe area, move somewhere else, and people will continue to do that if we don't get safety under control. So that is my #1 priority in the legislature. I thank you all for your support. I thank you for your vote. I thank my beautiful wife for coming here and supporting me. I thank you to my family and my staff for coming here as well. And I look forward to having your support. And I can't wait to get to work representing you in Baton Rouge. Thank you.
And I noticed a remarkable story, a turnaround story, if you will, about that state. I left South Carolina in 1992 to become a freshman at LSU. And when I left, South Carolina was in economic free fall. Its textile-based economy was in collapse. Jobs were being overseen because of NAFTA. And to me, Baton Rouge was bright lights, big city. High-rise buildings with lights on it, a Mississippi River bridge decked out in lights. And I thought I was moving to the big time. And in the 30 years since that time, South Carolina has rewritten themselves a turnaround story, a bright future that is based on advanced manufacturing, transportation, and logistics. Literally, when you drive that Interstate 85 corridor from Alabama all the way through the Carolinas, you see unmitigated development of jobs and opportunity. Every single southern state right now is busting at the seams with jobs and opportunity. And I realized decline is a choice. In that 30 years, Louisiana has continued to lose jobs and lose population. Our state is underperforming in every measure. We're losing the people that we love, our kids, our grandchildren, our colleagues, and our neighbors. Our cities are on fire with crime, and they're choking the life out of our state. We have an insurance crisis that is unaffordable. It is making it unaffordable to live here, and we're seeing it interrupt commerce every single day. Half of our third graders are not reading on grade level in Louisiana. That is a hair on fire moment for us, because when kids can't read, they struggle to learn, and then they are destined to live a life in the margins. We have to get serious about these issues, and those are heavy issues. But the reality is that is not what the future has to be. We've seen it in South Carolina. Decline is a choice, and we can write a turnaround story for our state. We can write a story in a brighter future that is teeming with the people that we love, that are enjoying the rewards of opportunity and prosperity from a Baton Rouge that works, and a Baton Rouge that is accountable to the people who pay for it, the people of St. Tammany Parish. You know, together we can do that. And I am an engineer trained at LSU with an MBA, a bank executive, a deacon in my church, a Sunday school teacher, a foster care and adoption advocate, and I have worked in the Capitol and in this community for the last 10 years, moving outcomes, moving the needle for people on the underside of power, for people who pay too much in taxes, for businesses that are overregulated, for kids that are trapped in failing schools, and for families that are stuck in a child welfare system that doesn't work. We can do better together, and I look forward to working with you on the first day to make those changes for our state. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, I want to thank the Chamber for hosting this event and thank all of you for coming, because it says a lot about you that you've come to kind of get to know all of us and what we all stand for. My name is Hugh Cassidy. I'm another candidate for District 89. I'm running on the resume that's on my card at that table. 37 years of business experience as a hospital administrator, a nursing home administrator, a clinic administrator for the LSU Medical School, and I'm now a semi-retired healthcare consultant that I provide practice management consulting for doctors that are in private practice. I'm running for the House of Representatives because I'm tired of seeing Louisiana struggle and fall, lag behind the rest of the country, especially while the rest of the South kind of enjoys a tremendous renaissance. Texas and Florida are booming. Alabama's even experiencing growth, and Louisiana falls farther and farther behind, and our best and brightest are leaving. I had a whole speech here prepared, and I just decided to wing it. The issues that I want to run on, fentanyl. You really touched me with that story. I also went to the funeral of a very close friend, not a funeral, the son of a very close friend, a nurse who used to work for me. Her son got injured on the job, got prescribed Vicodin, ran out, couldn't get any more, went and bought what he thought was a Vicodin tablet on the street, and he's dead. About a 20-something-year-old kid with a 3-year-old boy, and now that son is without a father. We have got to teach our kids about the dangers of fentanyl. Last year, the NIH reported 71,000 deaths from fentanyl. That's 200 people a day. Every 2 weeks, we lose almost as many people to fentanyl as we lost on 9/11, and we went to war over those deaths. We need to go to war over fentanyl. And if Joe Biden won't stop the flow across the southern border, then we need to be stopping it at the Louisiana state line. We all know I-10 is a huge corridor for drugs all across the Gulf South. And so if we can't stop it from flowing in, it's one highway it's coming in on. I don't know how we'll do it, but we need to start thinking about ways to get that done. And while we're at it, we'll save the kids in Louisiana, and we'll also save the kids in Mississippi and Alabama and Florida and Georgia and everywhere else that this drug is being distributed on I-10. So you really did move me with that. You threw my whole speech off. Thank you very much. I have 37 years of business experience. I also have 8 years of legislative experience. I worked for a U.S. congressman, a U.S. senator, a state representative from Abita, actually y'all's district, Bill Strain, and I served 1 term on the Bogalusa City Council. So I have the legislative experience to get to work on day one and make things happen for this district. So I'm asking you for your vote, I'm asking you for your support and your prayers, and I thank you for the time.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Nowicki. I'm a 14-year Army veteran. I've served in a variety of different stateside posts, peacekeeping operations in Bosnia, and most recently combat operations in Iraq, where I served as a medevac pilot evacuating the wounded off the battlefield. After leaving the military in 2005, I had about 19 months deployed out of 36 months. My daughter was born right before I left for Bosnia, and my son was born 6 weeks after. So I've been married 28 years to my wife, and she's an angel for staying with me that entire time, and I appreciate her very much. I ended up going to work for a Fortune 25 company right outside the gates of the base that I worked at previously, and felt this need to serve. So I found out that the city council had an opening, and I ran for election there and was appointed to the city council, and then had to run for re-election to finish out another term, and was re-elected to that city council. While in city council, I worked insurance issues as well as business development. We had a brand new downtown, and we wanted to bring business to our community and raise taxes and everything else, make our businesses successful downtown. After a series of promotions, I ended up in Eugene, Oregon. If you know about the West Coast, seen any of the videos, the news, there's a lot of homelessness, addiction, high crime, taxes, you name it. I said, enough's enough. We need to get involved. And I found myself interviewing for a couple different positions with the city. First being the city's budget committee is a $758 million budget. Within a year, I was the budget chair. I ran the budget process for 4 years for the city of Eugene. At the same time, I was appointed to this police commission and was the vice chair within a year there. And that put me in the unique position when the defund police movement started and we were trying to fund the police. So I led a task force in there to rebuild our police department, fund it, and I believe we were the only West Coast city to fund our police at that time. Made it a much safer community and provided a bunch of multipliers there. But one of the things that we found moving around was that we didn't have this homestead, and we wanted a place as our kids get older and have their kids that we could have our grandkids come to us. So we moved to Louisiana. We found out we loved it here. 2019, it was great. Our daughter ended up graduating from college, and then just like so many of you in this room, she found a job in Texas. She's been promoted twice in 18 months. It's hard to find an opportunity here for that, and that's not really what we were wanting. We want a place for our kids to stay close and have those same opportunities. I've been working with insurance for 18 years. I've worked with about 7 different departments of insurance. We are paying way too much for insurance, and there's things that we can do both on the regulatory side and some fortified home structure programs that we can implement to lower those costs. Second, education. We've been at the bottom of the list for decades. This isn't something new, and I think we need to continue the path that people like Richard Nelson and Sharon Hewitt have put us on, and we need to write the story that Mississippi's writing and being #1 in improvement, and I'd like to see that. Also, as a small business owner myself, I want to serve more people and in more ways, and I think everybody in this room does too. So we need to stop the outflow of people, bring people in, and spread that tax base. So you can find more about our platform at nowicki4la.com. I look forward to working with you. Please join me on October 14th in support. Thank you.